Hello. Today we're gonna find out how many circle punches it takes to make this adorable little bee. So he has 4 different size circles on him for his eyes and his antennae, or I always called them antlers, but I know they're not. It is just your typical office paper punch. For the whites of the eyes, it's a 3/8, and it's a recollections. But I swear I got it at maybe I did get it at Michael's. I thought I got it at Joann's. And then the next one is a 7/16, and it is from Fiskars. And it doesn't say 7/16, but when I measure it, that's what it is. And that's its wings. And its head and its body is, I'm using this Martha Stewart punch, and it's 1 1/8. So I've already got him all punched out here, and I'm just gonna put him to the side. Let me tell you the other things I did use for him. I did cut out these little honeycomb pieces, which I rubber stamped with, it's a deep red is the brand, and it's called chicken wire. And it's like this, it's pretty sturdy, so when I'm doing this type of work, I don't even put it on a backing. And I don't even care if I get it all, because it's his background. And then I use this Fiskars punch and cut out this, but I'll use one of them, I'll flip the other one over to use it the same way, so I always want the same paper. So that's what made these little leaves. And then here's the honeycombs up close. And that's the smallest octagon punch from Fiskars that you see me sometimes make the banners with. And then this, I know that I got it at Joann's, and it's a super small, it's super hard to punch because it's so little. But that's what I use to make the flowers. So let me show you how to make it. Now I've already punched out 2 yellow with the Martha Stewart and 1 black. So the first thing you're gonna do is, now holler at me if I'm not in screen. That's what I feel like I need. Somebody tell me if I'm not in the screen. Okay, I am using the tea dye from Tim Holtz. I told you that's my ink. And I'm just gonna ink one of these little pads up. And I'm gonna go all the way around this. And on one side, once I get it all kind of covered all the way around so it has dimension, then I am going to, on both of them, under his belly, I want it to be darker. So I'm just gonna take it and just kind of maybe rub over it like this. Oh yeah, that looks good already. Earlier, when I made my little one to show you, I was having a hard time, but now I guess I got enough ink on it. And underneath his chin, I want it a little bit darker. Okay, and then we're gonna take the wings that we punched from vellum, and we're gonna do them around too. And these ones, I kind of get them a little more than the edge. And you still can't see too much on there, but when you put it up against the white, you can tell it's got some color next to this. Hopefully you can tell that. Here, let me lift it up, or let me put it on a piece of white, because you can hardly tell the white, but see how you can just tell there's a little bit of color on there, and it just makes a difference. And so I'm going to do the same with this one. And I kind of hit just a little more than the edge on this. Okay, so now we have all our inking done. And again, that was tea dye. And then we're going to find the one that we decide that we want to use for the belly. And I kind of take the one that has like the most color on it, which is this one. And the first thing you notice is his little stinger is connected to a black piece. So the very first piece I take off, and it's like I'm just guessing the size, maybe 1/8 of an inch. So I take off that 1/8 of an inch, and that's trash. And then I make, oh, it's not quite, maybe like 3/8. I'm gonna cut off. I just try to get it as close to straight as possible. I mean, you could use a trimmer if you wanted to. So that's gonna be my first stripe. So let me put that there. And then you're gonna take off, oh, about 2/8. I mean, what is that? Is it 2/8? No, it's maybe 3/16. So 1/8 and 1/16. So I'm gonna cut off that much. You can see it's a little less than this. And that's trash again. And then you're gonna do another one that kind of that size, whatever we decided that was. Maybe 2/8. And so now, okay, the darker part now is supposed to be his underbelly. So that's how I'm judging which one goes on the bottom. And again, I'm cutting off that 1/8. And if, you know, if it's a little crooked, then I could always cut off a little more. And in fact, maybe I'll just cut off just a little bit more. You can see it really doesn't make too much difference. So I'm just taking off that little bit extra. Okay, now we're up at the top again. So I'm gonna try to get it close to that size again and cut off that much. And again, I'm throwing away the rounded part. So I've got 3 stripes. And again, it's a little darker on the bottom. So I'm gonna take, I call this his butt, but it's his whole body. Okay, and so I'm going to take my, let me get that up in the picture. Maybe I should see if I can pull it down just a little bit more. Okay, let me slide that up a little bit. And bear with me a second. I'm gonna put a little piece of tape here where I don't wanna go past that. Okay, is that it? I can't even see it in the picture there. Okay, so I'm gonna, oh, I forgot I was gonna grab my tweezers. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back again. I'm gonna pull in again. Sorry, I had to hunt them down and I got so much mess in this room. I had to hunt to find them. Okay, and then I didn't grab the ones I actually wanted, but oh well. Okay, so I'm gonna glue each one down, and when I do go to put them on, I need to pay attention to the curve of my little piece here and the curve of the circle, because there's only, you know, one spot where it'll actually fit right. So you kind of want to bring it over until it's in that spot, and if you get a little glue, you know, just wipe it off. Okay, and same with this one. There's only going to be one spot. You see, it's not going to fit over here. So it's going to fit here in the middle someplace. And I just try to line it up with this, and you'll see how it kind of fits in the curve. I bought a pair of just cheap tweezers. Well, I thought they were cheap tweezers because I could have swore the sign said $1.99, and I got them home and they were $4, and it's like, oh, these aren't them, but I like them better. So really worth the $4. Okay, so I'm just gluing each one on, and I mean, this is actually pretty quick. I know I did these for a swap, and I just kind of, you know, punched out everything at once. And now again, I'm trying to line it up with my edge. Oh, and now it's everywhere. Ah! Hold still, bee. Okay. Okay, and you can see it's not perfect. You know, it's like I can see my lines a little wonky here. It doesn't matter. He'll be so adorable. Okay, and now I'm gonna find the face. It's a little darker here, I think. I think it's a little darker down here. So now I'm gonna take my two whites that I'm gonna use for his eyes, and see, I put them like, I kind of figure the kind of look at the head, like on a person your eyes are like right in the middle, but he's a cartoon bee, so I'm gonna put that almost like the top part of the whites are actually, the black kind of looks like where the top of the black actually looks where the middle is. Now you got to excuse my black. I think if I would have punched them out of a harder paper, you know, more thicker paper, it wouldn't have got so raggedy, but it got kind of raggedy. I need a new one, new punch. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot here for lower than the middle, and I'm gonna put them kind of low or kind of close together. He won't really look cross-eyed, but you know, it's like, I just think it gives it cuter personality. And I do think they have personalities when you're done. I mean, look at his antennae. I was gonna say his antler. Look at his antler. He's got one short one, one long one. I just think that is so adorable. Okay, so I've got these eyes touching. Those ones are close. And then again, I'm gonna put the black a little closer to, I mean, they're gonna kind of be in the middle, but a little closer to the center. I mean, in the middle of the white, but a little closer to the center of his eyes, like that way. And again, these look kind of rugged. I should have used the other paper because I have two blacks here, and one is kind of a really, I mean, this black is kind of flimsy. The other one is not flimsy at all. And that's what I made his antennas out of. Okay, and that eye, I got it so crooked, it looks kind of bad. That, and it's really ragged. The other one, I kind of cut off some of the raggedness. But I know it's because you know, some papers, they just punch better than others. You know, that, I'll know that, I'm sure, unless you got really good punches. Okay. And remember, this is the punch that's a office punch, so I don't even know if I bought it, you know, when I bought it. Okay, so I've got that on so far. Now we're gonna put on his wings, and I got his wings kind of low here, so I'm gonna put them up a little higher on the next one. So the first one, we're gonna put it on the back, and you can see I just kind of put some back there, some glue, and I'm putting it close to where his head's gonna be. So, because his head's gonna be about here, So this time I'm putting it up higher. Hopefully it's not too high, but then he'll just, I don't know, he'll just look like a different kind of bee. And then I'm gonna put some of this glue, and I don't really see the glue like showing through, so I think it's okay. And I'm gonna kind of overlap this to where it's just, oh, I always wonder which way I'm pulling it. So maybe there's, oh, 1/8 of an inch there, so that they're just not right next to each other. So you can kind of see, hopefully you can kind of see where they're at. Oh, here, let me put them on this green paper. I think you can kind of see there when I turn it a little. You can see that, and you could, you know, separate him a little bit more so he kind of looks like he's more in flight. Let me do that to this one, because these ones I think are kind of low. Oh, I got a little bit too much sticky on. I got sticky between those two, so that didn't work so good trying to separate them. So, but this one, it's a little separated, so I like that. Okay, so now we're gonna do his antennae, and I always find that paper, I mean, it's almost like, it is, I don't know what the weight of it would be, because everything is scraps. But it's a really hard, I mean, you can't make any noise with it. It's really hard. And I just take my trimmer and I trim the skinniest piece to where you just think you're almost looking at I mean, even when I looked at them, I thought, did I use wire for that? But I've just cut like a super skinny piece, just about as skinny as you can have it and still see it. So I would say on my ruler, which is where, oh, here. Let me see if I can actually have a measurement of this. Okay. It's kind of in the 1/16 inch. Yeah, it's kind of between the 1/16 of an inch. So I would say it's just a little smaller. Okay, and I cut, you know, the piece this big, so this is actually half of what's left. And we're not using this for the tail, so you can just cut it right in half if you want to. And if it's not quite in half, that's okay. Remember, it all gives it character. Okay, and I can't even pick up those little yellows. Okay, so I can see that the one part's kind of fuzzy, but I think that they're kind of fuzzy because they have pollen on them, because they're going to be making honey. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here, and if I can get it to come out. Oh, I got a little more than what I needed. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up this thing that's as skinny as a wire and just plop it in there. And I kind of put it at least halfway into it, because that way it'll stay good and sturdy. I mean, you can see it's a good sturdy cardstock. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Okay, and while I don't even have to let them dry because they're dry already. Okay, so now I'm going to glue on his head. And you can kind of, I mean, I've thought about making a standing one, but he's just a, excuse me, my throat got kind of dry. He's just, you know, a bee in flight. And I kind of pull it down to where it's probably, you know, about maybe a little lower than what the stinger will be. And I have the stinger right in the middle. And then I pull his face in to where it's like if he had a nose, the nose wouldn't be quite over his body. Okay, and you can see it's kind of over the wings. Okay, and then I'm gonna flip him over, but I'm gonna pay attention to where his eyes are at, because the first time I glued those on, they were like not anywhere near his eyes. So it's like I had glue all over the back and the antennae like nowhere to be, nowhere in the right place. Okay, so I put a little bit of glue back there, and then I flip it around and see if it's, you know, over his head. Okay, he's looking pretty good. Okay, and then I'm gonna put on the other one, and I've already put the glue on where I thought it would be. Whoops. And sorry, I know I'm not in the thing. So I've got his antennae on, and you see how they're not straight, but I kind of like that. I just think it gives him character. I mean, you can see right here, he's a character. Okay, now for his little stinger. And look at how cute they look together flying. Okay, and you see where I punched the holes? How they're up close to the edge? So I just take my scissors. Now this one's a little closer, so it's pretty skinny. I just cut out that little, I just snip it and cut that little triangle out. So I can show you, I mean, it is, at the pointy part, it's skinnier than his antenna wire. I'm gonna call it a wire the whole time. But this part's maybe, I mean, you can see that he is just, so that part is like 1/8 of an inch, the bottom part. So it kind of makes like a little bit of triangle. So, you know, and it's like, I never pay attention to when I'm cutting them, so but it's like, I would just use, you know, whatever part is, you know, that looks the skinniest on my little punch. Okay, so then I'm just gonna put, now this one's the hardest piece to pick up because it's a little. I make sure I know where his little stinger is gonna be on his little butt. And I know I'm not anywhere in the thing here. Okay. I'm just trying to get the glue to come out. Okay, there it is. And let's see if I can pick that up. Or I'm just gonna do this. Oh, maybe not. Is there glue there? Maybe not. Okay, let me try it again. Hopefully I won't be stuck to my mat board here. Ah, for Pete's sakes. I've got glue every place except for on that little thing. Okay. I got glue in my fingers, so that was I was able to pick it up. I should have put his little tail someplace else so I could pick it up. Let's see, let me see if I can try it again. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more glue back here and then just get a hold of it with the tweezers because it's like my fingers don't want to try to pick up that little small thing. I told you it's tiny. Okay, and hopefully that's, oh, now anywhere, now he looks like he's got a kickstand. I'm just going to put the glue up here a little higher. And then try to move it up before it dries. Okay, that's closer. And you can see it's a skinny little stinger. Let me put him on here. But isn't he adorable? Okay, so then I just take, I do a little stamping. Let me get out my piece of white here. And this, when I make the honeycomb, formerly known as chicken wire, I use the antique linen. And I just kind of hit enough spots that I can cut out, or you know, do the punching. Like that. And I'm just going to go ahead and punch it off, or stamp it off. That's already done. Okay, and then I just use my little, oh look at, they're trying to fly away already. So then I just do the little honeycomb, or the little hexagon punch. And this is pretty heavy duty cardstock too, so it's a little hard to punch too. And I just do 3 of them. Okay. So I do the 3. And then I do, I really like this green. So this is the one I usually use for this. But remember, you can use whatever you want, whatever's in, I mean, this is a nice way to use, I mean, look at everything. This is the biggest piece of paper I have here. And then I, you know, and then I have like little pieces of white, and my vellum was even a strip. So then I take this, one of the leaves, I turn it this way, and then I turn the smaller one the same way. And just overlap this a little. Whatever holds it together. And then I took pink. The last ones I made were blue, but I'm going to be using this on a layout, so I need 1 in pink, and I'll probably do 1 in blue too. Okay, so I got my 3 little flowers. So I'll put 2 at the bottom. If my glue will come out. Okay, it should be close to there now. I heard it. Wow. Okay, I got plenty of glue. I kind of put 2 lower, and I'm going to have to wipe a little bit of that off. I'm just going to use a little bit of this here. Okay, so then I just put 2 down at the bottom and 1 up at the top, and I know I got a little bit of glue there, but it'll dry. And let me put this on something so you can kind of see it. And I thought it'd be fun to make out of like a patterned yellow too. Wouldn't that be adorable? So I might make one of those. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick up his 3 little, oh, I shouldn't have them on yellow. They might be hard to see. And of course I've got no other color out here. Oh, I'll just put on well, this is kind of white. Okay. So I'll put those on there, and I can tell that you really can't see it on there either. Well, I'll just lay it here. Probably. So I just do this. I put 3 there. I'll put my little leaf on here. And then I'll put my little bee on here. And that's how I send them for friends. Or when I do a swap. And so when I do a swap with them, I also include a pure organic flare. And if you're watching this today, or well, any day for, let's say the next 2 weeks, if you like this and subscribe, I will pick a winner and I will send you this little bee that we made and the little flare to go with them. So I just wanted to show you how to make one of those today, and thank you for joining me. I will be using the bee in a layout sometime this week. So thank you for joining me. Make sure you would also have to leave a comment, because otherwise I wouldn't know. So you have to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Like, are you gonna make bees too? How about that? And if so, are you gonna do a layout with it? Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.